And in North Korea, taking withdrawal money is illegal. So it's just such a fancy way of saying like, I'm taking all the money from you. Bitcoin has so much potential to save millions of lives that is being destroyed by the government. This is really time, I think, a lot of people now is talking about Bitcoin and how much money they can make out of this. But for me, it is really how much it can do to empower individuals. How much Bitcoin can lift people and taking the power back from the government. Hi guys! Welcome to my channel. My name is Yeonmi Park. I'm a North Korean defector human rights activist. So today in this video guys, I will talk about Bitcoin. And you can be surprised like me. Why as human rights activist is suddenly talking about Bitcoin, right? This is not finance channel. I'm somebody trying to free North Korean people. And I chose this topic and really hope that you stay with me till the end and see why I chose this topic to talk about and why I thought this is very important to raise awareness about. I just want to add my voice to those movements where people fighting for this cryptocurrency, this decentralized form of currency that people can empower so many individuals and take the power from the government and giving it back to the people. Before I start this video, I got this book from my friend Jimmy, Thank God for Bitcoin. And I was reading this book yesterday and I really realized like I gotta share this with my friends on YouTube because this really helped me how I see the monetary system and how this is going, where this is going and how this come about and really thinking about what money really is. And this is really not guys finance channel, so please don't mistake me. It's not like I'm going to tell you today in this video how to make more money. It's really not that. I really just want to talk about from my perspective what the current monetary system that I observe as a North Korean and coming from a country that has a complete broken economy and that country that every power was in the hands of government. And to see that the things that I see in America, this is very alarming to me personally, is because in 2009, when Kim Jong-il, the second Kim, was preparing to give a power to his son Kim Jong-un, the first thing he did actually was currency exchange. Some people might know this and not a lot of old people know. And when my video last time I was saying with those leaflets, balloons about activists and the money to North Koreans, I put the US dollar there and people say like, why don't you put North Korean money or Chinese money? Why is it US dollar? There's a reason for it. So bear with me from the beginning here. When Kim Jong-il did a currency exchange to the North Korean people from literally November 30th till December 6th. He gave 7 days for North Korean people to change all their money to the new currency. But how he did that is that, so if you have 1,000 won, I'm talking about North Korean won, it's very lower value than US dollar. 1,000 won, I can give you new currency one. And if your family hold household of 4 people, you can each household can have more than 10,000 won. In that 10,000 won, it doesn't matter if you're worth $1 billion or $1 million before. Each family can only have this much amount. This is a complete socialism, right? Let's be all equal. So he said to the North Korean people who was working so hard to working in the black market, who was able to save up and dedicating their life to save up. And a lot of these common people who worked very hard in the black market system saved money and suddenly faced this challenge in 2009 that your money worth nothing and only amount that you can exchange is this amount. This was a complete panic. Just think about it guys, right now in the US, let's say even you are worth of $10,000 and the government say just come there, okay, we are gonna change it to some let's say Bitcoin, but each person can have more than just 100 coin and it doesn't matter you had 10,000 before, this is how much you're gonna have from now on. And this is how North Korean regime was forcing people to make equalizing everybody. And the other part is that I talked about banking system in North Korea. They said, oh, remaining money, it's okay, you can put into the bank. And in North Korea, taking withdrawal money is illegal. So it's just such a fancy way of saying like, I'm taking all the money from you. And they say like, why don't you like put all the money, remaining money in the bank, and you cannot withdraw it and just give it to the party for our, the revolutionary work that party does. This causes so much despair to North Korean people. Actually, in North Korea, suicide is a crime. If you kill yourself, the remaining your family is like marked as some like tainted blood, and those people cannot even get married to the good, nice status family. And the family is like who wants to go in the military, have a higher position, who wants to become a party member get affected. So many North Korean people in such a heartbreaking way chose to end their life to show their resistance to this act of the regime. And of course, like we think like, why are you dying? You should be fighting for. But that was the best thing at that time North Korean could do to show their anger and resentment to this dictatorship. A lot of people literally just burn their cash and just wailing. And that 1 week period, it was like the hardest thing that I've like any modern people country can see. The North Korean people were wailing and crying and throwing those all like cash became trash, literally. The dollar like US bill, most government says if it's a trash, it's a trash. That's how little power we have individuals. And those trash literally get burned and thrown in the river, and people killing themselves. And this was such an unexpected even reaction by the North Korean people that the North Korean regime, who does not tolerate any rebellion, they literally killed a guy. Of course, what's his problem, right? He just like listened to what the Kims told him. Like he literally just killed somebody in the head of the banking system and like said that was his problem. And then after that, what happened to North Korean people is that they stopped believing North Korean currency. So in North Korea right now, guys, if you go to Pyongyang and countryside markets, they trade with the Chinese yuan and US dollar and some Japanese money too. So the foreign currency is the money for North Koreans right now and not the North Korean one. And this is like why I'm connecting to the Bitcoin with the human rights. Bitcoin has so much potential to save millions of lives that is being destroyed by the government. Right now, I'm like sitting down in this lockdown country where government is literally printing trillions, millions, billions of dollars, and I do not even like understand what are they going to do to us after this. I am all for supporting this business that have been affected by the pandemic because the government chose us to lock down, right? That's why all those small business owners got like bankrupt, and we do need to help them. But so much money is not going those necessary parts, and they are just giving money some tons of places where it makes politicians look good. When the politicians come say like this welfare system and say we're gonna help this, we're gonna give you this, we're gonna give you this much, the money is not coming from nothing. But right now with the US, current monetary system, right, money literally came from nothing. It just as long as they keep printing, the printing machine is working, they keep printing money. But that is a thief. That means each dollar that we have, the value decreases. And it's the hard work that we put to earn the money is becoming halves every single day. And the US is keep printing this money. I am truly concerned for the inflation and how it's gonna affect poor people, like the rich people owning like stocks. The rich people own so many different things. They can survive. They own real estates. They have a lot of diversified assets. But the poor people who literally live paycheck to paycheck, and when their money becomes like literally the value is decreasing, and that's the real hardship is coming from. The poor people paying this price when government's printing trillions of dollars. This is why I do think that this, even the monetary system that we got in the US is a failure, that I think every person needs to be understanding what this is, and I think this is such a good book to do that. It really helps you to understand what money is, what it does to us. And one thing that I got out of this book is really money is a tool, right? It can be both. It can be a tool for being greedy and taking advantage of other people, but it can be also a tool to lift the people out of poverty. Without money, right, how do we feed a child? How do we feed the poor people? And money is like there's good money and bad money. And the one thing also I got out of the book is that some people think money is very neutral, but no, some money is good and some money is bad. And I do think Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency, is good money because it is not controlled by the government, whose interest not is our interest. Government keeps saying that our interest is their interest, but it never is, because their goal is being re-elected, staying in power as long as possible for their fame, for their whatever the gain they're trying to gain. It's not, and that's why I think I want to be in a society where like everybody interest is their interest. It's okay to admit that, but your interest is like really helping your child to get a better education, have a better healthcare, have a better infrastructure in the country, then that is everywhere's like interest, right? And that's why it's like, I don't even say that's greed. And some people think that's a greed, but I don't think that is. And this is a really time, I think, a lot of people now is right talking about Bitcoin and how much money they can make out of this. But for me, it is really how much it can do to empower individuals. How much Bitcoin can lift people and taking the power back from the government. When I was escaping from North Korea in 2007, I was literally sold for less than like $300. And the phone right now that I have in my hand, this cost me way more than I was worth. This is what happens when you do not have money and when you do not have power, guys. I interviewed my friend Yuna in my channel, and then you heard that she had some 3,000 USD dollars from her father, and because of the money she got, she didn't have to get sold and found her freedom. And if the factors get the Bitcoin in their hands, guys, when they escape, and then when they can give it to their brokers, even somebody's life is on the line, remembering that code of Bitcoin is nothing. Like there are billions of people memorizing Quran, and memorizing the Bitcoin code, if you own it and if this is your lifeline, everybody is gonna able to remember all of that, even without government knowing it. And that's why I think what if we give millions of North Koreans some Bitcoins, and when they escape, they don't have to be trafficked, they don't have to be sold, they can escape freely. And this is a really tip of the iceberg. So much you can do with the Bitcoin and freeing people, and also government to lose control of us and let us to decide our own destiny. And this is truly, thank God for Bitcoin, and thank God for these people who's working on this cryptocurrency, where decentralized form where we can have saying how much we own, what this is worth. Anyway, guys, I hope that was helpful, and I'm really genuinely in a position where I keep trying to learn what this is and what this can do. This is a very exciting time to be in, despite so many other things that are failing in our country. I think as long as we do not lose hope and keep fighting for our freedom and better world, I'm sure we will get there. So thank you guys for staying with me till this end, and if you really like what I do, please come support me on my Patreon. And I hope to talk to you guys more after this about the cryptocurrency and how do you guys think it's gonna affect and help to increase human rights. Thank you guys. I look forward to seeing you all next time. Bye.